Hello and welcome to this video. My name is Mary Amondo, in charge of training and career advisory services here at Corporate Staffing. And in this video, we'll be looking at identifying skills gap in the workplace. I am joined by a very key guest, Mr. Godfrey, who is our training and development manager, and will be expounding on how employers can really get to identify this skills gap in the workplace. So welcome, Godfrey. Nice to have you again.
Thank you so much, Mary.
Great. So with regards to our topic today on identifying skills gap in the workplace, just to begin with, what role does training and development play when it comes to bridging the skills gap in the workplace?
Thank you, Mary. In the line of my work, I do meet HR managers, decision makers, business owners looking to train their teams. And one of the common mistakes I see is people always asking for quotations, send us your price list. And it's not a very, it's what most of us or most people do, but it's not the right approach in terms of training and development, because you're not just training to tick a box. You're not just training because there's a budget on your end or because you just want to tick some KPIs as a manager that I trained the team. So when it comes to training and development, there are several key things. And why is it important? First is because we're looking at the changing business environment. If you look at how decisions have been made in organizations a while back, even as recent as a decade ago, whatever benchmarks that were used, people will look at historically how has the business performed to inform future decisions. If you look at people management, it has always been about directing, ordering, and the manager was always the boss. The supervisor was always like the king. You're looking at things having changed in a way that we have different generations today in the workplace. We have the Gen Zs who are not afraid to even leave that job so that you can do it by yourself. We're looking at people who are in their 30s, 40s. They want to achieve so much within a very short time. We also have people call them the gatekeepers, people who are nearing retirement, and their concerns again in the workplace is quite different. So if you look at these competing dynamics and interests in the workplace in terms of generation, therefore means that for us to get the best from these different generations, there is need for us to build capacity to train them. So when it comes to training, therefore, it cannot just be a generic approach to training. What has worked for me and the companies that we've worked together is first to look at where the organization is. Where do we want to be in the next 5, 10 or so years based on our commercial strategic objectives? So that now we look at the team. What gaps could be there? What could be stopping us from achieving our set goals? So that now that informs what are we going to prioritize in terms of training. When is it going to happen? Who is going to be the trainer? Matters cost should be the last things to consider. Have you identified the right skills that you need to impart on the team, and also in terms of aligning everything to your strategy? So training is going to be very key because it enables us now to have that team that is ready to drive these objectives. Otherwise, good strategies and the team is ill-equipped. It's like a new engine in a vehicle that is already it has stalled.
Great. I can see training and development managers or professionals really have quite some tasks to do. And how can the organizations or how can employers design now and deliver the effective training programs that addresses these identified deficiencies?
Great. Number one thing that I would advise anyone watching us today is when you've identified gaps, in most cases these gaps are just in performance or in attitudes and behavior, things observed in the employees that necessitate now a training. So in most cases, people don't get to like dig deeper and understand what is the true root cause of all this, so that we start by addressing the root cause. In terms of designing trainings, first is you've identified the causal factors, the issues that are bringing about this poor performance, things that are causing this negative attitude, things that are also perhaps resulting in a lackluster kind of performance from the team. If you have that already identified, the next phase is to get who is the right person to take the team through the training. Who is the best training provider at this point? So when you're engaging a training provider, check on their instructional design process, their design procedures. In terms of how will the training be put together and what is the methodology? How are they going to train? Because remember, you're training adults, you're not going to train children. So the approach has to be different. You're looking at andragogy principles of learning. So does the training provider have an idea what that is all about? When you've planned the training also, it is important that you separate work, routine work, and the training. Like for maximum concentration and learning, I would advise that you take people out of their normal schedules. If you have a training center within your premise, let that be an area for training for that entire time of the training. Note that during break time, people are still going to update, to check emails. When they multitask, obviously, the training is just being done as a formality, but nothing much. So to minimize these disruptions, I always advise that you can, if budget allows, you can always get a venue away from the workplace. So during the training, always endeavor also to check, is the learning happening? Is it relevant to us? So evaluating and taking stock of what have we covered, what areas are still remaining, and then after the training, have you agreed with the training provider on the post-training kind of support that you are likely to get? For us as corporate staffing, we always extend 3 months post-training support, whereby some of the things, the skills concept that we've covered in the training, if there are struggles in implementation, then we come in to support, and we don't charge anything for doing that. So again, you as an organization, a HR manager out there or a business owner, are you getting the best from your training provider? And maybe also another thing that concerns majority of employers out there is the issue of cost. Also, the training provider that you're dealing with, are they accredited, for example, with the National Industrial Training Authority, that is NITA? Because if they are, and you engage them in your trainings, you're also likely to push the cost of doing the training lower by getting reimbursement from NITA if you are also NITA accredited, NITA subscribed, sorry. So those are the things I would advise any employer, any HR manager out there looking to build capacity of their team, that there is a lot more that goes into training your team than just asking for proposals and quotations. Yep.
Wow, that is quite intense, and thank you so much for sharing. Thank you for watching. As you have heard, as an employer, it is very important for you to proactively address these gaps in the workplace so that you are able to ensure success and competitiveness within the employees or the team that you have. Corporate staffing services, we come in handy to help build capacity of your team because of the different courses that we do offer. And we are here to help you walk the journey. Feel free to click on the link below just to get more information with regards to how best we can come in handy to help you walk the journey on building capacity to close the skills gaps within your organization. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching.